Recording in progress.
You're ready? Go for it. Test. I don't hear me, but test. Can you hear that? Does everybody hear that? Okay. Well, I think we'll get started. Good morning. And my name is Dennis Goin. And I'm a old, new member here at August Day. I actually joined this church in 1976 for 3 years. And then I joined this church again in 2010 for 3 years. And last September we joined this church, hopefully for the rest of our lives. If I was only good for 3 years, last time they told me you've been here 3 years, time to move on. And it's good to be back. It's always good to be back. This is the first or second time that we've been in the new church. In 1976, we weren't. We were in a gymnasium, Sonic Temple. How many of you remember that? Yeah, got it. A couple. How many of you in here are in education or were in education? Okay. Few. Okay, good. I was too, so I wanted to bring that up. I just wanted to say I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I grow up, but I've been a teacher, I've been an activities director, I've been a vice principal, and I've been a principal. And I was a principal at South Kitsap High School for 7 years, and Mike Snowden was one of my teachers. So everybody knows Mike. And then I left education after that time and went into the business world. And what I couldn't believe was flying on a plane and at noon a bell didn't go off so I could go to lunch. I didn't quite understand that process. But I spent almost 13 years in the business world doing a little bit of what I'm going to show you today and also who I work with and did that kind of thing. We won't be able to get as far as I thought we were going to get, so if you are interested, please tell somebody and I'll be glad to come back and put more to it. But I'll give you kind of a generalization of what this is about, and it's you that's going to be involved with you. And we're going to start right off. And you're going to see that you have in front of you a piece of paper. Yeah. And you can turn that piece of paper over, and at the same time you're doing that, what I want you to do is find a partner. That's all you need to do right now, is find a partner. You got a partner? Everybody got a partner? And if you don't have a partner, then you can watch too. Okay. Now here's what I'd like for you to do. Would somebody be kind enough to read the rules? Anybody?
You win if you get the other person to touch this piece of paper first.
The other person in this case is your partner.
Yeah.
So it's you win if you can get your partner to touch that piece of paper first when we start the game. What's the second rule?
Second, you lose if you touch this piece of paper first.
That's right. You lose if you touch the piece of paper first. You're kind of getting this in your brain, right? So what's the last rule, which may be the most important rule of all? What is it?
No one touches the paper.
You both lose.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get the idea? So now with your partner, you have 2 minutes to try to strategize how you can do this. 2 minutes, that's all you get. Strategize how you can do this. Okay, I'm going to bring you back. By the way, I'll use an elementary technique. I like the way Kathy is sitting and not talking. Thank you. Here we go. Would you please put one of those pieces of paper between you and your partner, because we're going to play this game. So put it in front. You've already strategized to the best of your ability. By the way, I have had people get hurt in this, so please don't use any fingers. Use your fists. Okay? So put your fists over the piece of paper about that high, next to each other, and I'm going to let you try your strategy. And this will be on the count of 3, so get your fists ready. Put your both fists over the piece of paper. 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, let's see what we did on strategies. Who won? Raise your hands if you won. Okay, who lost? Raise your hands if you lost. Okay. Did you figure out, for those who won, I saw you all raising your hand at this table. How did you both win?
You talk about it, figure it out.
And how did you figure it out so you could both win? What did you do?
We had to work together.
You do, didn't you? You had to work together, number 1. And number 2, what was really important about the win-lose part of it?
Counting. 1, 2, 3, same time.
Let me give you an idea behind that. It didn't matter as long as we thought we won. Would you agree? If you both go down at the same time and touch, what happens? You both win and you both lose. The human mind is built exactly like this. In anything you do, we are always about the win can be all of us, the win can be none of us, and some of us are what? I need to get them before they get me. And that's another piece to the human mind at work. And essentially, that's what this is all about. All the way from our individual minds to a group mind, this could be within your own teams in the church, to a collective mind of the whole church. This could be a mentality of even something I heard last Sunday or a couple Sundays ago about raising money to get rid of the mortgage. How many people are I'm a little skeptic of that. Versus some people are going, together we can do this, we can win. To, I don't know how many people thought, but maybe we won't get all of it, but we could get a lot of it. You see where I'm going with this? The point of this is, and I put this up here, see this word flourish? Look for the groups, and this is, by the way, this is all comes out of the dictionary, but also the way ChatGPT in the AI would say, for this here, her talent, flourish would mean this. For this, the teams, it would mean this. And for the church, it would mean this. Interesting, isn't it? How the meaning of it changes. The meaning of it depending on the group, and yet the word can still be used.
I see.
And flourish can mean a lot of things. And by the way, don't we have that in the Bible a lot of times? You look at the word redemptive or sanctified, right? Or those kinds of words, all of a sudden you could do this too. Oh, that's a Bible word. Oh, that's a Bible word. And yet it can have, depending on groups, depending on me, depending on a lot of things. That's what this is going to be talking about. Now, where did this all come from? And I'll give you a little real quick piece on this. There was a gentleman. Oops, where are you going there?
You got the same.
Oh, the cursor's over there?
Now you got it.
Gotcha. Okay. No, it's not going to give it to me here. I'm going to do it over here.
Yeah. Here. It's
It's over here. I just need to get it be able to control.
So now it should work.
Okay, now I can go. Oop, let me go back. This is a gentleman by the name of Dr. John Cotter. He's was the head of the business department at Harvard University. And he wrote these, he's written about 18 books, but these are the books I began to work with. When I came out of being a principal of a high school, I started what I thought was just my own kind of consulting company, helping people change, helping people unlock their minds and move together towards something. I've always had that interest, psychologically, of how that could happen and the way it could happen. So a gentleman said, you need, and by the gentleman was at Microsoft and I was working with his team, and he said, you need to meet John Cotter. He said, I'd love to. Would he sign my book? I said, I'm going to be working with a shipyard back in New Hampshire. I'd love to meet him. So we got together. We were going to spend 3 hours. We spent 3 days.
Wow.
Taking his stuff out of his books, and especially for me, The Heart of Change and Iceberg is Melting. I love both of those. If you get a chance, pick those up, take a look at them. They're just a fun read on the mind. And the way we close down, the way we open up, and I'm going to show you how that works in a minute, and we'll do some things. We spent 3 days together, and as he's driving me to the airport, he says, you want to start a company? I said, well, I'm out of this. I'm a high school principal. I don't. He said, no, I'd love to do that. I've never done it myself. So we started this company. It's been around now for, I believe, 14 years, 15 years. We started with 3 of us. We now have 43. There are 43 in that company. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to be a high school principal again in a company. So I retired, John retired, but that's the legacy, and that's how we got into this material. So I want you to know I'm not the expert in it. I was the one that did things with people like you and companies and so on. So let me go to this one critical, simple idea. Words create pictures. Would anybody disagree with that? Well, I can make you disagree with it right now. Are you ready? 'Twas brillig and the slidey toast, its gyre and gimble in the wave, and all mimsy where the burrow grows, and the mome rats outbreak. Did the words create any pictures for you at all?
No.
So they don't always do it, do they? But they're not words. Exactly right. However, to Lewis Carroll they were for his daughter who was bedridden, and that's why he wrote the poem Jabberwocky, so that she could make up pictures. Superfragilisticexpialidocious.
Okay, yeah.
I can do it with a lot of things that people have put together, and what's happened, we've all learned them. Have we not?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, it's amazing how we learn it, and then we know it, and we keep it. It becomes a part of us. And it can go back 50 to 60 years. Are you ready? See if you can do this. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. What am I talking about? You not only can remember the tune, but you can remember the product. And that went off the air 50 years ago. It sticks. I can do it with others. Are you ready for this one? I know you're going to know this as soon as I start it. Oh, my baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. Okay, now you're just bragging. How many of you are sitting there going, I never heard that? Then you're a lot younger than you think. Right? There are all kinds of them. Right? Snap, crackle, pop. Double your fun. You can do it over and over. Where is it coming from? Here. We have it stored. It's all over the place. Everything we do. When I was 15 years old, I got my permit. I went downtown with my dad in Astoria, Oregon, and there was a gas station. He said, son, pull in and we'll get gas. I pulled in behind a car on the outside of the pump, so I didn't want the inside pump. You know why? As I'm sitting there, my dad says, that one's open. Can't go in there. Why? Car's too wide. Pumps are too narrow. The car was too big to go in to get to the gas. That was my 15-year-old mind in place. Now, when you're 17 or 18, you go through whether it's wide or not, don't you? It's what we do. We gather information and we keep it. Watch me do this to your mind for just a minute. All you get is this slight picture. Bubbling water. That's all. Bubbling water. Got the picture? By the way, you have your picture. Other people may have other pictures. So here's the question for you. And I want your answer as soon as you can based on the picture you have of bubbling water. How many are going to stick their hand in it? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3. 3 people have that picture that they're going to stick their hand in it. How many are not going to stick their hand in it? Raise your hand. Look at all the people that aren't going to stick. Now, if we were having a discussion about how we were going to raise a lot of money to down the mortgage, we're having a problem right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because we got to decide what bubbling water means. Now, for you people that would put your hand in it, where was the water bubbling? A stream, oh, right? Or a fountain, or what? A hot tub, right? How many of you were thinking bubbling water and you wouldn't stick your hand in it? What would it be?
Boiling water.
Got it. Now you're starting to get the pieces to the way the mind works. And let me show you this. So right now I have a picture up here. It's already done for you. What picture, just put this in your mind, you don't need to say it out loud, do you want to move towards yourself? If you just see those pictures, which picture would you want to move towards? But then ask yourself why. Okay, anybody want to give me an answer? Which picture would you move towards and why?
The books, because I love to read.
There you go. Beautiful. Look at that. Picture, movement. Bob.
The people jumping in the air.
Why?
Because it right back then we didn't be doing that.
You went and got an old picture and brought it up to the new picture and said, that's a great picture. I'll take that one over the rest of them. Somebody else, another picture. Phil.
Lower left,
Lower left. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Why?
because I want to go pray there.
Oh.
Did you see that? It was a place to pray. See the picture?
Yeah, quiet.
Did you know every single one of these have a picture to them? What if this is August Day? What if I asked everybody in the church and they started to give me all these pictures, but you notice how they're different? In a family, they're different. I have a grandson who, when he was 8 years old, couldn't read. Didn't want to read. Has no business reading. I try to help him read. I'm an educator. I can help. No, you can't. He made sure he didn't read at 8 years old. He's now 13 years old. I heard yesterday his dad called me. He said, I was talking to him. He says, well, he's as tall as you are now. He said, that's fantastic. He said, yeah, his report card, he got 3 A's and 2 B's. He said, that's hard to do when you can't read. And he started laughing. He said, let me get Hawken for you. You can tell he's Norwegian. Hawken gets on the phone. Yes, Papa, I can read now pretty well. See what we did there? We get locked onto our images and then we hold them. We lock onto our images. We lock onto our images, and yet what? Sometimes it's about unlocking our images. How many people come up with things they plan on doing, they call it something, just when January 1st happens and they haven't been doing it? What are those called? And do you know there's percentages all over the place, but the percentage of people who never do those? Why do you think that's true? I can tell you why I believe it's true. You ready for this? Because they didn't create a picture, and they didn't see themselves in it. And they didn't see the results of what that was going to be for them when they were done. You see what I just did there? Now watch one I can do for you that comes straight out of the Bible. We just saw this not too long ago in our readings. There was this guy came along and there were these people fishing, and he said, hey, how'd you like to become fishermen of men, of people? You see what happened there? I'm not saying Jesus is smarter than me, but I think now he is. He figured out how to get, they didn't know what that was meaning, but what? It related what to them, who they are, and what they do. And you know what? It doesn't have to be mackerel and perch, and it could be John and Frank and Sally. You see what I'm doing to the mind there? How can we make that picture so clear we create an urgency for ourselves to want to go and make it happen? Think about that. Individually, even think of your own committee that you're on right now, and you want to do something together. And how many times do you miss the point? You miss that mind piece. So let me give it to you in kind of what we call black and white. And essentially, it looks just like this. Words create pictures, which create emotions. Emotions are nothing more than attitudes in a direction we lean either towards or away. Bubbling water, create the picture, I'm going to stop. I can do that with anything. Anything. And all of a sudden, we can't go any further if we have the wrong attitude in place, or we have the wrong emotion, or we have the wrong picture. Let me go a little bit further. Out of that attitude comes an action and a decision by us. Think of the game you were playing. Out of that comes an action. When the game starts, what do I need to do first? I've already got my strategy. I did that. I win. That's the action we take. And we start down that path. The next thing that comes along is habits. If we do that action long enough, you ready for this one? Everybody sign their name on that piece of paper. Anyway. Now I know this is true because my brother broke his right arm when he was in the 3rd grade. So I know this is true. Okay, switch hands. Ooh, listen! Look, stop! What did you in your mind just do? You did use words to create pictures, and I heard this. Oh, no! Go ahead, sign it. See how you do. It's kind of fun, isn't it? No, it's not fun. No.
What are we supposed to sign?
Just sign your left hand. Sign it with your left hand. And your ambidextrous. That's good. Take off your coat. Would you take off your coat for just a minute? We're going to find out just how ambidextrous you are. Okay? Take it off. Thank you. Got it? We're going to learn something here. Do you get it? Okay, now put your coat back on again. Okay, stop. Okay, use one arm first, then use the other arm.
I'm ambidextrous.
I know it. Did you see what she's saying to herself over and over again? I'm ambidextrous. I can do this any way you want me to do it because I'm ambidextrous. I can never put her in a position where she can't because she knows what she is. Now, how the rest of you do with your signing? Thank you for doing that.
Pretty silly looking.
Pretty silly looking. How many of you want to own that?
Read it though.
How many of you want to own that signature? How many of you want to spend time with a committee and a group learning to do that really well? It's not got a lot of value to it, does it? No.
If you had a broken arm.
Right.
You're exactly right. In fact, I can tell you just the rest of the story. My younger brother, 18 months younger, ended up being a high school All-American basketball player because he broke it in the 3rd grade, and we were all boys in the neighborhood playing basketball every day. He learned to shoot with his right hand and his left hand, and when he jumped in the air in high school, he would decide in the air which hand he would shoot with.
And that's why the men at the Y will not play basketball with me.
See, there you go. That was great what you just said there.
Well, because I make my baskets. Like I've got 70% shoe.
There you go.
And the guys.
And by the way, once you learn you can. That's all there is to it. Once you learn you can. Let me go a little bit further with this because I'm not done. One more time here. I've got to get down. Here we go. Habits for us, whether we like it or not, become the truth.
Yeah.
That's the bad part of this.
Yeah.
Sometimes we create great habits, but how many of you have those habits where you go, I just wish I didn't do that? But my mom did it, my dad did it, I'm Irish. We have all kinds of excuses for it, don't we? And yet the good ones, that's great when you start getting all those reasons why. I can tell you when I retired, took piano lessons. I'm not going to say who my teacher is, because she sings in the choir here, and her husband is the choir director. But I was in PLU, and I knew she taught piano, and I retired from being an educator, and I said, I'm going to take. And my wife plays piano, my kids play somewhat, and I thought, this is going to be a snap. This is going to be a snap. So I sit down with her, we're starting in, and I go, I played trumpet in the 8th grade for 2 weeks. See me? I got my goal now. There I go, I'm go. She said, well, there's a little bit more to piano. I said, what's that? She says, see those lines up at the top there? There's some lines down at the bottom there, too. You see those? Well, I don't need those. Trumpet only played up here. I don't need to play down here. Well, the piano needs to play down here. What happened to my mind? I don't play down there. Then she says, and by the way, some are half notes, quarter notes, whole notes. And I said, that's math, isn't it? I don't do math. So what was my goal? I can tell you my goal. I said in 2 months I want to play Rhapsody in Blue.
Yeah.
To this day, my wife brings that up about my goal. How soon do you think I quit taking piano lessons? Actually, it was 3 weeks because I cheated at the bottom line and just memorized it. And then I went in and played my tune on it. But I couldn't read it, I couldn't count it, I couldn't do anything. And she said, you know, we got some problems here. And I said, yeah, I know. This isn't going to work very well. That's my history with piano. Anybody else go through this same kind of, you know what I'm talking about? So are you starting to see, how do you unlock this? What is it going to look like? How do we get to where it's unlocked? Now I can tell you something, and that is probably even further out than the piano, was, you know, I'm going to learn to quilt. I'm going to learn to quilt. I had no sewing machine. I had a grandmother that taught me to knit and crochet, and I could do that. But why not? It's just fabric and you sew it together. That can't be that hard. So we're at Mount Cross where we were. There were 9 women and me. I said, I want to learn to quilt. And Lois said, okay, come on in. And for the first 3 weeks, all I did was, Dennis, could you go for that? Could you go for that? Could you go for that? And every time I stopped at somebody where they're working, they would teach me what that was. And then they would make me do it. And I didn't even know jelly rolls could be fabric. I didn't know layer cakes could be fabric. And the next thing I know, I'm quilting, and I'm loving it. And I made 13 quilts.
Whoa!
Someday I'll show you pictures, but right now I don't want to show off. But that's because it was all go from who? The women at the church. With every time you go to that table, they're going to teach you. Every time and he broke it down into little tiny pieces. And the next thing you know, I'm getting a sewing machine. And by the way, if you don't believe any of this, talk to Gwen. She knows it. She's seen it. That's what goes on within our brains. Let me go just a little bit further. I created habits and truth around one thing. I've got a zillion of them I didn't do that with. But there's our operational model right there. It happens in everything we do. Now I've got 10 more minutes to kind of show you a little bit more about this, because that truth becomes reality. Have you ever had somebody bring this up to you? Here's what we want to do. We want to do this and this and this. And you got people in the back. That'll never happen. That's never going to happen. Hey, if it isn't invented here, it won't work. If you don't have John on this committee, it ain't going to happen. How many of you hear that? You hear those kinds of things. And you think those are stops or goes? They're stops. Right, exactly. That reality then becomes what? Me. And by the way, you can actually work on it to where it becomes we. it can become a whole church. I've seen that. It can be the good. Went down with the church in Battleground, and they literally had, it was an old church with a gymnasium attached to it, and they wanted to remodel their whole church, and I walked into it, this is never going to happen. And those people wouldn't give up. They don't know, we want you to come back. We want you to tell us how and I just said, I don't know how, but here's what you need to do. I got called 3 weeks ago, and they said, could you come down? We'd like for you to celebrate with us. We've completed the remodel. It was all paid for. And I'll give you the name of the church if you want, but it's a beautiful example of this, where people got together and said, we can. We can. By the way, I've seen it in business. I've seen it at the Bremerton Shipyard. I've seen it in hospitals. I've seen it everywhere. And it's a mind thing with humans. Humans do this. So let me go just a little bit further. Yeah, I think we want to play this little game. Now, how strong do you think your mind is? We're going to find out. So what I want you to do is draw a circle. And what you're going to do is start with the 12 at the top and the 6 at the bottom, only do it in Roman numeral symbols. 12 at the top, 6 at the bottom, but put them all in. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, once you get it done, check with your neighbor, make sure they're correct or you're correct, or you're both correct. It's important that more than one is correct.
Roman numerals,
Roman numerals.
but I like the on there.
I like them too, but in this case, I only have the Roman numeral example. Roman numerals. Got it? Okay, check with your neighbor. Make sure you're correct. Make sure they're correct. Everybody agree? You got agreement? Agreement? Check with the next group of neighbors. Make sure they're in agreement. Everybody in agreement with your symbols. Okay, because I'm going to put up the answers here, and you may not like what you see. So make sure you've really got this. You got it? Okay, here we go. Here we go. You ready? Okay. 1. Is that correct? Not the position, just the symbol. 1. I'm going to go to the next one. 2. You got that? Everybody get that? Any disagreement? Okay. We're going to 3. How are we doing? Okay, well, I can finish pretty quick then. Here's the 4. Then we're going to go to the 5. Whoa. What happened? What? What? You're all saying I'm wrong? Who's up here teaching this? What if I did... Okay, but what if I did this? By the way, these are all out of clock catalogs.
Whoa.
So what's that? Oh, wait a minute. What's that?
Oh, that's wrong.
What's that? What's that?
Oh, man. You didn't know they were wrong.
You know, I heard this out here, and I just can't help but say it. They're all wrong. Based on who's right.
Well.
You are. This group is right. The church may be totally wrong, but this is right. You see where I'm going with
Can they
this?
see it?
By the way, are you ready for it?
I have Roman coins that are right, and this is wrong.
That's right. By the way, it isn't right 2% of the time. 98% of the time, it is 4 ones.
Really?
Now, you ready for this? 4 ones came before the IV. People never learned, we never learned Roman numerals on a clock. We learned them in a straight line. When it's in a straight line, it is always IV. But the moment I put them up on a clock, you went defensive. Based on what learning? How long ago did you learn to do Roman symbols?
Oh my God.
So a 50-year-old knowledge is more important than what I'm showing you right in front of you. Yes, it is. And by the way, we're all the same. I can do one more. Are you having any fun yet? Let me do one more.
Okay.
There is a watch that has IV. I just want you to know there is a watch that has an IV. I didn't want to make it all 100%. By the way, another big IV one is Big Ben in London is IV. But every clock in that whole city is 4 volts. 98%. By the way, I've done a dirty trick to you. You will never look at a Roman numeral clock or a watch the same way.
That's right.
I still get emails from 20 years ago seminars. Dennis, I found one that had an IV. You're wrong. What's the job of anything we want to take on as a church and move forward and flourish? Is to make sure we're all moving at the same pace for the same reasons, and we all believe it and we can. What's important when you do that on January 1? That you can see it, you know what it feels like, you've seen pictures of it, you have people that have done it, put everything together to knock down all the barriers so that what? You can create a habit of what you want to do. It could be eating, it could be a ton of things. There's only one that I know of that I haven't been able to conquer. I worked in a dairy one summer when I was 19 years old, and my job was to take old cans that had been out for 2 weeks in a farm, tip them upside down, and put them on a steam spigot, and then the steam would come back up in my face. I cannot eat a smelly cheese. Now, if somebody's got some way to knock down that barrier, please let me know. And I think the only way to do that is to take the smell out.
What about playing the piano?
Yeah. That one's done too. That one's done too. Thanks, Marilyn. Just keep bringing it up, put it in my face. Now I'm going to get you. Are you ready? This is an actual picture. What I want you to do is find the picture. See it? Good. We got one. That means there is a picture there.
Looks like a cat.
Cat? You see a cat? Well, that was close.
I see a cow.
Ooh. Maybe we need to do something like this. In order to see the picture for everybody, what if we did that? Pictures can create pictures so we can continue to go forward. You see what I just did there? Words can create new words that can allow us to go forward. Okay? Let me go one more time. For those who still can't see it, I think you can, but I always like to use this one too. Okay? So we are 2-3 minutes away, and what I want to do is I want to take you, I've got a lot to help you do certain things in this, but I do want you to know that when the team, when I could quilt, I knew I could quilt. Are you with me on that? Now, I've only been quilting 4 years, period. But I got a quilting machine. I mean, it's a straight stitch, but it's 4 quilts. It has a long arm. I can talk quilt. I don't do it as much right now, but I love to quilt. My wife says it's because you miss your blankie. She does say that. So to end this, here's what I'd like to do, and I'm going to take it back to church. But what I did was I went through and I got this was out of the Message because it kind of used words that made our pictures a little easier to understand when I did it. Let me get to that. It's right. Come here. There you are. Okay. Let me do this. Take the first one first. Come with me. I'll make you a new kind of fisherman. I'll show you how to catch people. Is that a go phrase, you think? Is that something where people who are fisher people and have done it for catching fish for a long time might be really interested, not know a lot about it, but, well, that's intriguing. Words create pictures. I believe this guy was the best at it the world has ever seen. And I'll show you some other things that kind of go along with that. Take the next one. You're blessed when you get your mind and heart put right. then you can see God in the outside world. That's out of the Message Bible. That comes out of the Beatitudes. It's an interesting way to see it, isn't it? But is it a go or a stop? When you get it right, is that valuable enough picture for you to see God in the outside world? Kind of thing. I'm just showing you there's parts to this. Go to the next one. This is from Peter, is just before he's getting ready to die. What will be the sign of your coming? Which, in fact, what are they saying? Either do it now or it ain't going to happen. It could be that way. That's the way it tends to be phrased in there. And Jesus says, staying with it to the end. What a picture, isn't it? Staying with it to the end. That is what God requires. The message of the kingdom will be preached all over the world. Go or stop. Can you feel it? Pictures, words, pictures, they create an attitude for us, one way or the other. I can tell you, being in a text study, I've never been in a text study like this, where somebody is in there telling you, okay, this is what it is. This text study is about what? This is what it says. What is it? Interesting, isn't it? All of us can do this. All of us can do this. If we do this again, if you choose to have me, I'd be glad to go on with this and do it in a little bigger way. We can actually get people down and move towards something big we want to move towards. We can. I talked to Randy about being on the committee that's going to work on get the mortgage down in 5 years. And my first question to him was, I've really never seen any group or company stay with anything 5 years. Maybe we need to get it down into smaller parts so the words make sense and they look believable and we can actually move that way. See the difference in those? But that only comes out of my experience. I'm not saying to do it, I'm just saying that's a good thing to do. And I would suggest the same. Whatever challenge you might be having, get it down smaller. What's my mind doing it that blocks it? How can I unblock that? What are the words I can use to move forward and make it a great day? Thank you very much. If you could, there's a box or something there that's got pens. And if you could put all the pens back, take this home to your family and play the games too if you want. Sure, I'll take questions if you want to stick around. I want to value your time. I'm fine.
So, in my experience, sometimes the picture precedes the word.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about.
We tend to think in images.
Yes.
We think in pictures and then we apply words and emotions to it. And sometimes even the emotions come before the words.
Right.
Is that fair?
Yes, very fair. And in fact, look, if we were to get to this, there's a timing issue with a lot of it. I don't have old words, I have old pictures. Those pictures started with words, something. We believe that you can't just picture creates out of nothing, or you wouldn't know what to call it. You only call it something and it creates words. But they can be that those pictures become so strong, which we want it to be, that the direction I lean is either towards it or away from it. In other words, I'm never going to step out in front of that bus, even though there's a strong picture that looks like it's slowing down, because I'm not sure if I did it would hit it. And that's a good thing to have it monitored. But how many little kids see bubbles flying in a pan, and the little kind of kids that want to hold the hand look like that? They don't have that knowledge, nor do they have the picture. So it goes like this. If that makes sense. Yeah. In fact, the strongest pictures create the strongest actions, or actions both for and against. It isn't always a yes. If I create a strong picture, then I'll move forward. It depends on what your picture is. Some pictures you don't want to go